As we take a look now at the trade floor of the exhibition center here inside Tissue World Miami, you're joining us once again in the Tissue World studio, where we're interviewing one of our panelists who joined us on stage during the main conference day, Dr. Sudipta Dasmohapatra, who's faculty from Duke University. And it's a pleasure to have you with us, Doctor. Thank you very much indeed for being here. In your panel discussion on big data, it's almost the elephant in the room, if I can say that up front. It's kind of big data has arrived in the tissue industry. We're not sure yet how to squeeze it, shape it, learn it, understand it. And I guess that's why you were here with us at conference this year. What's your message inside big data, ma'am?
So, we all have heard about, how in the silicon industry, for example, big data, basically companies are utilizing that effectively in order to harness their operations and learn, and get more profitability, basically identify where innovations can happen within the different companies' operations, as well as we look at the customer side, and the retail side, where those kind of innovations can happen, understanding of customer behavior, predicting demand, sales, all of that. So big data really has the capability of capturing all of that and identifying, patterns that we have never seen before. And in the tissue industry now, I believe a lot of the paper manufacturers and tissue manufacturers are starting to look at, data that are coming at them in large volumes, at great speed, in terabytes per second, as well as, looking at wide variety of sources of data, internal, external, data that is structured and unstructured, video files, image files, and so on. So to process that and looking at new technologies and partnerships that can help them identify new areas of retaining customers, as well as looking at new areas of gaining revenue, this is going to be really key right now. So, it's there, it's out, it's that big elephant that you're talking about in the room. However, it's something that we cannot live without. This is going to create a tremendous and fundamental impact in the way we do business today.
And it ranges from not just performance improvement inside your own area of operation, but as you say, extends right into that customer space and beyond as well. So where do most people need to begin right now? If thinking about it, they've heard about it, they've been to Tissue World, they're understanding that big data is something that's out there, what are the first, perhaps tentative steps that people in the tissue industry should be taking to understand it and absorb it and work with big data?
Right. So one of the things that I would like to say first is to understand what kind of data does the company already have within their portfolio. What is your biggest pain point? Is it in the technology side? Is it in understanding of the customer side? Can you basically try to start by partnering with, let's say, an analytical organization or a design organization or a technological organization that has some capabilities in doing this, in order to take one small step? Let's say, is there a small pilot that you would want to do? That's where you should basically start in order to identify the value of big data. I would suggest that at this point of time, if you're starting up, do not go forward full-fledged with, millions of dollars of investment into one large changing of infrastructure and technology, but really pretty much starting up, with a viable use case or a case study that where you can actually see the value, where you have a need to use the data with different types of analytical and softwares that you may already have. Build on some of the past data that you already have and the models that you have already looked at, and then partnerships are important. Data providers, as well as with some of the firms that actually can provide the analysis or analytical support to the organization.
And your own role within Duke University, how do you best explain that to us?
So I'm a faculty in the Department of Statistical Science at Duke University. I'm also the director of the Masters in Statistical Science program. We have hundreds of students that actually come through the program and get modeling and data science, and statistical science related information, background, knowledge. So I'm here, in the tissue world to basically identify what kind of challenges and opportunities are there that universities and industry can collaborate on, especially in the tissue industry. and also to identify, what kind of talents are needed in this industry, so we can basically, take that to the classrooms, and we can identify the skills and give the skills that the students would need to actually come in and be successful in this particular industry.
Magnificent. Well, we're delighted that you've joined us here
Thank you
at
very
Tissue
much.
World. How have you found it, by the way, just thinking about the entire experience, both the exhibition and the conference so far? How does it strike you?
Yeah, so this is great. This is the first time that I'm attending the Tissue World conference. I've come down and I've met with a lot of, networked with quite a number of companies, in industry, and talked to them about their data needs. So this is actually really, really good. I would suggest anybody who wants to learn more about this particular industry to come into the Tissue World and come and look at the exhibits, talk and network. This is obviously a great place to learn about the particular industry and different challenges and opportunities that you can have.
Thank you for the endorsement, Doctor, as well, and thank you for your participation.
Absolutely.
It's been a real pleasure. Thank
Great,
you very
thank
much
you.
indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.